Alright guys, so flip this, sorry. Alright, so what you'll notice in my earlier live stream, I didn't know I actually hit the X button. So I was sitting there for a good probably 5 minutes till I found out that I was no longer live on YouTube. So sorry about the abrupt end. But we're getting ready for our ASP mission trip into Leslie, Kentucky. You can go into my Facebook page, Matt Christopher. You can see the ASP link. You can follow our progress. So we leave at the end of this week. It's going to be about a 9-hour drive, and so I'm just getting ready for the trip itself. I used to use for the good many years. Okay, this bucket buddy has served me well. I have worked out of this thing for 20 plus years and it still looks brand new. The problem I always have had with this is the interaction with it. It holds a ton of stuff. It also tends up to be a trash bin, and when you get tired you just forget the stuff on the outside and you just chuck it on the inside. But this has been a solution for me as a low voltage contractor for many years, and out of the trade, but taking it with me. The last couple of years I've taken this to ASP, and it's just not the right thing. So I was looking around and I saw Vince over at VCG, and I've always seen the carry systems, whether it's DeWalt, Tough System, or Pack Out from Milwaukee, Huskies, whatever they call their thing. I almost bought that, but I bought today was the Ridgid system, and this is the Ridgid system. Okay, so you got a big box. It's attached to the handle, middle tote, and then the top. So I wanted to go a little bit into detail of this today, and I didn't when I was. I'll tell you what happened, how I got to the choice, and then we'll go over to there. So I was looking real heavy at the Husky. I liked how the Husky's engagement system worked pretty well. The main problem I had with the Husky was the Ridgid was just slightly bigger. The plastic's a little tougher. The handle engagement on the Ridgid is just a little heavier gauge, and the wheels are slightly farther apart, which gives it a little bit of stability. I don't like the interaction of either box with the handle, because when it's loaded up and you're toting it behind you, it's just not comfortable. It needs to be angled slightly. So be it. It's all good. It's easy. If you try to angle it or anything like that, it would really not work out very well. But the Ridgid worked out very well for me. So I looked at it. I looked at the expandability. See, with Pack Out, you can go as high as the moon as you want. And I don't necessarily think that that's good, because too much of a good thing is too much of a good thing. But what Pack Out gives you is the ability to mix and match boxes and all that kind of stuff. And that's what I'm going to eventually do with this. I'm going to get several modules so I can just pick up the plumbing box, I can pick up the framing box, I can pick up the electrical box. But what this has really given me in this year, apart from the Bucket Buddy, is a place to put everything in its, instead of taking the circ saw and the drill and the jigsaw and the cords and all that stuff and trying to have to drag it out and find space for it. This is just, boom, it's in there. So it's really handy. Just to go back between the choices, the Husky, the problem I had with the Husky is the lid, the clear plastic lid, so you can see into the containers for the screws and all that kind of stuff was clear. I like that. The main problem was is the plastic on it was clear, but it's a more, it seemed easily breakable, like a little harder plastic. I ran for a very long time yellow bins, which I have over there, yellow and gray bins, which I've I don't even know how those things are even staying together, but I beat the heck out of those things. So, um, so that was another thing. The one thing I did like about the Husky is the standard case is $80, and you get 3 modules with it. Then you can add on with a bin, and with a bin, I'll show you with the Ridgid. But the bin is just that. It's just like a crate. You fit anything in there you want. But then you had the ability to add on another like opening case. The top of it were a bunch of compartments that you can move around and all that kind of stuff. At the bottom had a nice big area where you can use it as kind of a standalone toolbox or stack it on top of here. I like the ability to have those modules there as opposed to the same 3 modules that Ridgid gives you. Hopefully Ridgid will come out with more modules, different types of modules. I'll tell you the one thing that I don't like about it so far, but enough of this rambling. Let's go over and check out the Ridgid box. Okay, so you see it here in its glory in the basement. Okay, one of the things that I do like about it that I didn't know, here we're going to take this. Okay, so it comes with this piece of metal. I didn't know what this piece of metal was for. Okay, on the side you go into there and down into there. Okay, so you see that piece of metal comes down over this lid, okay, through that. It's a wide area. I like that this plastic has a high kind of rubberish, vinylish kind of feel to it. Goes down through the stack, and then you put a lock on it right there. You can lock your entire tools up. And if you're not, you just go into here, stick it into there, okay, and it stows away. I like that ability to be able to do that. So, the other thing that I really like about the interaction between this is when you go to pull it apart, okay, so that handle, and then this top case comes off. But before I take that off, let's tell you what we packed into here. Okay. Alright. So you'll notice on here, a couple screws, some electrical tape. That's about the amount of bins that I'm going to have. The rest of the screws and stuff like that, I'm going to have on site. Now, this is the issue that I have with this. See how all the tools are in there? There's no organization. Okay? This is where the Sharpie bits are. These are where measuring and screwy devices are. Okay? So I like the ability that you can take these dividers and these bins out. That's really cool. But I'd like to see a module that those guys build that would fit screwdrivers or other kind of things in there. It's got a nice little rubber gasket, okay? Silicone gasket. I think it's probably just butyl rubber. But it closes nicely. The closure of this is nice. What the problem that I had earlier, here, let me open this up and I'll show you. Okay, you'll notice these metal hinges, which is really nice, is this has the ability to open up. See how that opens up? It will not close. You have to make sure that that is all the way over before this will shut. Okay, so let's show you when it's out of. Okay, that's opened up. I couldn't do it. Yeah, let's open it up. Once this, there we go. Okay, see how it's out of alignment? Just ever so slightly. It does it now because it's on camera, of course, but I couldn't do it earlier. It wouldn't close. So that's the top box. Okay, I do like that this comes with a handle. I do like the fact that this handle, when this is all together, that you can pick it up and you could pick the whole thing up as a unit. One guy on the handle, okay? Okay, I like that the handle is nice and beefy. That's kind of cheesy, but it is what it is. But this is the thing I like about it. It will drop all the way down. The Ridgid, each time it goes in, you have to push it to drop it down. I like the fact that when this is in its stowed position, it is locked. Okay. Again, push the handle, and it drops all the way down. Very nice. Very nice. Make sure I have this closed, which I do. Okay. So, this is the bin. Okay? All this has is, you know, kind of a this is kind of what I can work out of. It's good size. I like it. I'm going to have to figure out a way to organize this better. Again, I got to work out of it yet in order to get a pretty good feel of how this is going to work for me. Now, let me see if I can do this. Okay, let me undo this. Okay. All right, so this is the top. This is the thing that I don't know why you'd want to do that so friggin' heavy. Okay, but the way you do this has locks on it. Very cool, because this is where your money is. I like the fact that that lid comes completely off. Okay, so this is where all the cords and the saws and all that kind of stuff are. But I like that. It's about enough, as much as you want to carry. Any more than that and you just be hating life. So the lid goes on, okay, and then at the sides, we'll grab that, and then there's a place for padlock. Place for padlock, okay. So when you lock this down, okay, that bar stows here together. With it loaded with tools, it is very sturdy. It doesn't feel cheap plasticky. One of the things that you have to do when you get this thing home, leave it outside and open it up. Its off gas is awful. It's just awful. But I do like the holding of these handles. It locks in nicely. Bunk. Bunk. It's done. It's done. Okay. Put that down. But it's in a very nice compact space. I have the rest of the tools over there ready to go. But well done, Ridgid. Well done, Home Depot. This is Home Depot's brand. Okay, well done. Have you take a look. I like that this is all metal hinge here, and it's on very heavy plastic. Okay, so to bring this up, you have to unlock it from there and bring it up. Okay, then you can just foot it, and it's very handy. It's kind of hard to do it handheld, but yeah, once you unlock it, look. So I'm going to unlock it, push it all the way down. See how the wheels are on the outside of the box? The earlier versions of these systems did not put the wheels on the outside of the box. I'm not sure how well these plastic wheels are going to hold up. Time will tell. If you go over to VCG Construction and you look, they have this box. One of the guys there, Norm, has his box there, and he works out of this box, and he's worked at it for a long time. And so that was one of the decisions. But I think I'm pretty happy with the choice. The sale is still on for Father's Day. The box just moves buttery smooth. It's got a lot of tools in there. It's got a lot of weight to it. I like the fact the Husky makes a bag version. Husky makes a bag. And the bag is a tradesman's bag with, it's like this bucket body, but in a wide case with wheels on it. And it's a semi-soft, box. It's heavy. One of the issues that I have. Hey, what's going on? I'll show you what I got. I picked up the deal, cuz. Yes, it is. This one's actually going back, Vinny. Look at that. Before, I'm telling you, the shirts, before, you couldn't even see it because of my big fat belly. Big fat belly's going away, baby. Love it. Sorry, where were we? I don't remember. Nah. But, well, this one, yes. He's got to resize this, and I need to send it back. This one is my EDC, and if I were to take it off, the band that goes around here is really worn. Okay, and I don't know if it's this belt or my other one. I think it's the other one. I'm getting pretty close on this. Yeah, no, it's the other belt. It's the other EDC. The Velcro has, I beat my stuff hard. I don't know why, it's always been that way. John's already had to repair one of my belts. I just, in the fire department, I just beat them. But they still hold up. So, I'm going to have him resize that one. And I'm going to have him change the color on it. But I want him to keep the buckle because that buckle has been through a lot with me. But I'm liking this Ridgid system. I'm telling you, I'm liking it. It's handy. I like the weight of the plastics. The off-gassing of it is just awful. I almost bought the Husky, but once that Home Depot still had those on Father's Day special, really closed that gap. And I didn't have, for the money, the Husky was a better buy than the DeWalt, based on only monetary. And if you look at them that were priced side by side very close to one another, and you look to what the actual sizes were, the Ridgid is a little better, is bigger size, and it just feels a little better. The handles on all of these things just feel like crap. The DeWalt, which they only had the bottom part of their tough system, I think that's a pretty good system. The handle on that one was really good, but so far as the price on that one was a little more than I wanted to deal with. But the thing that I'll tell you, the thing that I liked about the Husky was, but I think it's sturdier on the Ridgid, is the interaction between boxes. I don't. It just felt a little nicer, but I think after being actually on the job, it will break very quickly. Where this Ridgid is a much better solution to the issue. But I wish they had more. Another box just for like an electrician or hand toolsman, as opposed to hammer, as opposed to rough carpenter. I wish they had a box for like a trim carpenter or say an electrician where it has fold out, see, in the olden days, I used to carry a briefcase, and in the olden days, they you opened up your briefcase and it had rows and rows and rows of like accordion files, and they each had like a hole for a specific screwdriver. So when you ordered your kit, you either ordered it with Klein, you either ordered it with the German. Uh, uh, Crap, I can't remember. Not Heisel, but you ordered it with those specific screwdrivers. So those handles, when you dropped them in, they dropped right in. And they had like 4 or 5 varieties of them, and you could get them fully stacked for a couple $1,000. And if you're an electronics technician, you just went in, picked up your briefcase. It looked like a regular briefcase until you opened it up, and there was a place for every screwdriver, and every screwdriver had a place. And it had a place for your picks, place for your test equipment, your tapes, your soldering iron, all your screwdrivers, and all that stuff you needed. So I remember those. That's what I grew up on. Now, when I went from electronics service technician to a audio video installer, that's when I had to transform over. I think I had a tool. You know what? You want to see some old stuff? Old Dusty, baby. Old Dusty. I can't throw it out. I keep repurposing it and repurposing it and repurposing it. Remember this? Remember this junk? Oopsie. My key to drill on the floor. Remember these? I've repurposed it and repurposed it and repurposed it. I can't throw out tools. These are junky, trashy tools. But, you just get stuff like this all the time. It's all good, bro. But that's all Dusty. Can't throw her out. Ugh. Oh, sorry. There we go. So I grew up on the from that, and then I moved to the Bucket Buddy, which for what we were doing was very good. And they also have a lid. You take your lid, you buy a lid from them, and that holds all your connectors and all that kind of stuff. And the lid also was a seat. So it was a very good system. The only problem with the system is, okay, this is the big problem with the system, is when it falls over, all your tools come out. All your tools come out. Okay? And after you dump your tools about 5 times, you don't care anymore. And yes, you take a bungee cord and you wrap around it, but there's, at the end of the day, when there's space for the tools just got hammered on by your apprentice, and you're tired, and you just throw it in the van, you close that van door, and you go down the road, and you're tired, and away you go. And you hit a bump, or you have to stop, or you turn, and you hear that unmistakable clang. And that's all of your tools dumping out of the bucket into that little wall, into that little foot place in the van, or actually into the door, because some of those doors had holes in them, okay, where it was unfinished, and your tools went into there, into the bottom base of that door. Awful, awful, awful. So that was the major downfall to the bucket. So we moved to this rolling tool case. It really keeps my tools in a very compact thing, of which is so very simple. And I'm just finding out there's like a little place for your foot that you can seriously do that. But Ridgid, you did a good job. Could you crank it up a little bit, like a a little more kind of trade specific. One for plumber, one for electrician. And you really just need to keep it one for framer, one for plumber, one for electrician, right? And then once you have those basic kind of trades covered, the trades can then kind of a little bit adapt it and kind of hone it in a little bit. But for just a standard old rolling tool kit that holds all your stuff for rough carpentry, it should. I'm anxious to work out of it. So I've kept you on long enough. We're on for 26 minutes. Holy smokes! So go over to Home Depot. Go check it out. It's this system here. Okay, they come in a variety of things. They give you all kinds of tags and all that kind of stuff, right? So this is that's what this is. Okay, that's what it is. So it's cool. I'm liking it. So thanks for joining me. Thanks for watching. Be sure to give me a thumbs up, like it, share, and subscribe. Thanks, guys. We will talk to you later. Bye-bye.